We've already talked about the Cleveland Cavaliers several times on the channel this year. But after last night's performance and continued brilliant play from Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen, I wanted to take the time to talk about them again this morning. And so we're going to start off with talking about the general play of the Cleveland Cavaliers last night against the Washington Wizards, but then talk more so just about Jarrett Allen and Darius Garland as what could potentially be an all-star duo this upcoming season. So the Cleveland Cavaliers won comfortably last night on the road in Washington against what was heading into it the 3 seed in the East. And Cleveland does continue to be a surprising team in the Eastern Conference this year, now 13-10. They've been extremely good with Evan Mobley in the lineup comparative to with him not being in it. And so there's no doubt he also deserves a mention in that. But I do want to focus less on him in today's video, given the fact that I talked about him about a week ago. So be sure to check that video out if you want to hear more on Evan Mobley. A video link down in the description below. But last night especially, it was Jarrett Allen, it was Darius Garland who combined for 60 of the Cleveland Cavaliers' 116. A double-double for both, nearly a triple-double for Darius Garland, what I believe would have been the first of his career, as this young duo continues to be the leading core and the leading push for the Cleveland Cavaliers. As a team, the Cavaliers were a very good defensive team against the Wizards. The Wizards just didn't look great either, but full credit to the Cavs. Jarrett Allen dominated down low in a matchup he should dominate against. Montrezl Harrell was nowhere near as effective given the fact that he did have to play against that size. Darius Garland pushed the pace very well, playmaked well, was getting buckets in the paint, shooting well from the perimeter. Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen have a very bright future as a duo moving forward, because they had Jarrett Allen to sign a 5-year deal and Darius Garland hasn't even signed his rookie extension yet. So yeah, these guys are going to be running the East and be a big part of the Eastern Conference makeup alongside Evan Mobley, Lauri Markkanen, Isaac Okoro, and whoever else they surround themselves with for a long time to come. So the fact that already, not even a full season into Jarrett Allen being in Cleveland, that they are this successful is pretty darn telling to how good Cleveland are going to be moving forward. So let's start talking about Darius Garland so far this year. The statistical jump doesn't jump out at you, which is probably why he will not be in contention for most improved player this year. But the eye test just shows Garland as so much of an improved player and a more impactful player this year. You're only seeing about 1.5 more points per game, a bit over 1 assist per game more than last season, while the rebound numbers have gone up about half a rebound per game. Efficiency has increased, but not from 3-point range. But again, the stats don't tell you what you need to know. His usage and difficulty of shots have gone up, specifically with Colin Sexton going out, yet his efficiency has still increased from the field and has not dipped significantly from deep, still shooting nearly 38% from deep on 7 attempts per game, while having to make some tough shots at the end of the shot clock, contested shots, you name it, as any point guard does that has a high of a usage as Garland does. He's now the leader on this team. He is the main guy playmaking wise in terms of facilitating, scoring. That's him. He's pushing the pace, and he plays with really good speed. He pushes the pace extremely well, which allows for good opportunities for him and others on his team. He gets in the paint well and can either finish in the paint with a very nice floater, finishing through traffic, or setting up others, as his over 7 assists per game this year would certainly indicate. If shooting was going better for some of his teammates on some nights, that number would be much higher. And Darius Garland has been extremely impactful to the Cleveland Cavaliers, arguably the biggest reason why the Cavaliers have been so good this year, especially with Colin Sexton going out. They haven't missed a beat, picked up some of the scoring load while still maintaining a very good playmaking record, and looking to be at least better on the defensive end than we have seen in the past from Darius Garland. Moving on to Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen's been brilliant this year. He has looked every bit worth that extension and new deal that he has been put on, that a lot of people had concerns about throughout the offseason. And as a Toronto Raptors fan, oh, how it would have been nice to have Jarrett Allen through restricted free agency. It was always unlikely, but it would have been nice. Jarrett Allen is shooting an absurd 71% from the field, which, sure, you can expect him to have a high efficiency because he hasn't developed his mid-range game. He isn't really shooting threes. But still, 71% from the field, 72% from two-point range. That is absurdly good, regardless of what type of shots you're taking. That's like all-time good efficiency up there with Mitchell Robinson high-efficiency seasons, and especially DeAndre Jordan high-efficiency seasons. So full kudos to him. His free throw shooting has been the worst of his career, other than his third season in Brooklyn, which you would hope that he can improve on that. His free throw shooting has been a little bit up and down throughout his career, so hopefully he can pick up on that throughout the season. But elite rebounding, elite rim protection. The block numbers don't scream as elite rim protection as Jarrett Allen truly provides. 1.2 blocks per game. Still good, don't get me wrong. But his rim protection and the amount of shots he alters, the amount of shots he deters, the intimidation he has for people that just don't want to drive into him, alongside Evan Mobley, doesn't get represented in block numbers. He's an extremely good rim protector, extremely mobile for someone with his size and length at the center spot as well. There's lots of times in pick and roll defense he's extremely effective, or then he just gets switched on to smaller players and guards. He defends them quite well in space and can be a good defender in space. I mean, this is someone who's averaging 11.5 rebounds per game while shooting 71% from the field, putting up 17 points, being an elite rim protector. Jarrett Allen's been extremely impactful for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's probably the most underrated but best value pickup of the James Harden trade. They got him for Milwaukee's pick that they had acquired, that they then traded away for Jarrett Allen. A late first for Jarrett Allen. Ended up being the 30th overall pick. Pretty darn good trade. So yeah, Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, they have been absolutely brilliant this year. They are a massive part in why the Cleveland Cavaliers have been able to be so successful this year, as they currently sit at 13-10, 6th in the Eastern Conference, and only 3.5 games back of the 1 seed, when most people would have expected them to be 3.5 games away from bottom of the East. That being said, that is my thoughts on Cleveland Cavaliers, but specifically Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen so far this season. Be sure to let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. As mentioned, if you want to hear my thoughts on Evan Mobley so far this year, then be sure to click the link down in the description below. That is my thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.